Almost had it. How's it going, guys? I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. How's it going, guys? So we are in between theme months episodes right now. So we've been doing like these sort of like shorter, sort of on the fly.
Yeah, little fun episodes.
Yeah. And so this week we're actually not doing a movie. Well, I guess it could have been a movie.
It could have been.
Right, but they spread it out into like these episodic like style series. And we watched. Well, actually, I just rewatched the episodes I wanted to do.
Okay, right.
But I've watched like that whole series a bunch of times before when it first came out. We got into Love, Sex, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh my gosh.
Love, Death, and Robots.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just like because my favorite one involves CG sex, so. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys haven't seen this yet. It's on Netflix. It's a short series, done by like just a bunch of graphic artist teams. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what to call them. I guess.
Right, and everyone,
animators.
Yeah, everyone's kind of done by a different group of people.
Director.
But like overall, it's produced by. Guy who's done a bunch of stuff. He did Alien 3. He did he's doing the new Terminator movie. But he's done a bunch of stuff, and like if you know that as you're watching, you like some of that stuff kind of like
leaks in.
Well,
yeah, because I know. Okay, so like one of the things I did know about like this show, or is that they originally wanted to do like heavy metal.
Oh, right. And when you said it's like a movie, if they just made it all together, it would have been like Heavy Metal 3.
Right. Well, yeah, but then I guess for some reason they weren't able to grab the license for it. And so they just decided to make it into Love, Death, and Robots.
Right.
Which is also, it's like, it just feels like sort of like the Black Mirror of that sort of genre.
Totally. Oh,
because,
yeah.
I mean, like, Heavy Metal, it was Heavy Metal and then Heavy Metal 2000.
Right.
Were just, like, these really trippy, like, sort of, like, off-the-wall stories that, like, it never got picked up for a full feature or a full show.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
So they're both movies, but yeah, like, the first one kind of was nothing like at the beginning, right? And then it just kind of became, like, this, like, cult classic, I guess. It really is just like it makes you feel like, hey, I'm listening to a heavy metal album. What if they animated this?
Yeah. Well, that was like the whole idea behind that one, right?
Or I took a bunch of acid while I was listening to this heavy metal album, and I closed my eyes, and this is what I saw. That may actually be how it got written.
Well, I remember the first one I did watch was Heavy Metal 2000.
Okay.
And then, because I was still like sort of like maybe just getting into my teens when that one came out, and weirdly enough, I watched it while we were traveling somewhere, and I watched it in the hotel room while my mom was watching behind, like just like reading behind me or something, and it came up to one of the scenes where there's just like animated breast, and I was like, oh my god, animated breast.
Yep. So I saw the first one when I was in 5th grade, and it was one of those things that like that my mom wasn't like prude, but she didn't really that was not a movie that she would have let me rent. She still had the leash on my renting ability.
But I mean, I think during while you were growing up, you could just watch an R-rated movie whenever you wanted.
Well, yeah. But even though it was animated, she knew enough that she knew that wasn't something. So I watched it, at my friend's house. Like, I think
with the cool parents.
Well, I think his dad bought it, and then we weren't supposed to watch it, but they went out of, like, not out of town, but they went out for
like on a date.
Evening, and then we were like, go get the movie, let's watch it. And then we got like Little Caesars pizza when it used to be buy one get one free, and they get the weird long
Oh yeah, they had the Sicilian style pizza.
Yep.
I do remember that.
And that's where they came up with the pizza, because it was always buy one get one free.
Oh fuck! History lesson,
Yep.
kids. Oh yeah, because when Little Caesars used to have a lot more commercials, it was always Julius Caesar.
Yes.
Going pizza.
Yep.
Oh, so you just watched it while the parents were out on the evening.
Yeah. But I remember it was in 5th grade, and then I remember like being at the library the next day at school.
Telling all the kids
and then,
you watched.
because I had another friend who had already seen it. He would told me about it, and so then I was like, we were talking about it. I was like, oh my god, well, I'd never seen a cartoon like that before. It was crazy. He's like you said, it was a boobings.
See how excited? I just remember being so excited seeing my first boob.
Right.
But now it's in the pockets of every.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Too available.
It's not special anymore. It's like we're living in Europe. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Also, before we started the podcast, I was asking Colby if we had an episode that we both liked that overlapped, and so I kind of wanted to do that one together.
Right.
That way, we're not like cutting. I don't know, but we're just gonna do that one together.
Yeah. I want to talk about it, and you're like, oh no.
So the first one we're just gonna get into it. The first one we actually watched, or the first one that we both agreed on that was like one of our favorites, was Suits.
Yes. Yeah.
And so Suits, let's get into it. It starts off like relatively normal. You think it's just like a normal sort of setting. It's Hank, who's the main character, the main protagonist of the story.
Right.
He lives on a farm with his wife Beth, and I think they're like celebrating, or they're just like having dinner.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, do you want another pie slice? She's like, no, I'm gonna burst if I take another bite. But then all of a sudden you hear this burr, burr, burr sound, and it turns out that there's like this super high tech computer system that they have in this house.
Right. Yep.
And so like, oh, okay, so it's not like diverging too far from like what the rest of the series is really getting into, as far as like technology wise or whatever. But you learn that there's a breach in their like farming facility.
Right.
And it just sounds like maybe like one of the cows got away, or
yeah, because they actually make jokes about that. And it's like, oh, did the cows escape again?
Yeah. I think this is like a good old classic farm joke, right? But he goes into the barn, and he looks like he's getting into like a tractor or something, but then you find out it's a mech suit, which is awesome. And so this one, it's pretty much like he goes to like where the actual cows are. Yeah, and him and Beth are having this like playful wedding married banter. Like, I told you to put the cows closer to the house. He's all like, "Oh, this is so hard," which I can imagine. But I mean, if you have a mech suit, you can carry two at a time.
Right? Yeah, and you can carry them. You don't have to load them onto a truck
or get like one of those dogs,
yeah,
like Lassie type of dogs.
Yeah,
but I think
the one with the no tails.
Yeah. But I think those could only herd sheep, right? Can they herd cows also?
I don't know. We've not spent enough time as a
cowboy. But yeah, so he's in his mech. He sees that there's like this tiny little breach.
Yeah, and it's just like a weird kind of like red, kind of glowy circle.
It kind of looks like Doctor Strange is opening a portal.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so like one comes out, and he shoots it right away. And it's
like a kind of a buggy demon dog.
You just think about like Starship Troopers, right? One of the smaller insects.
Yeah. Or
if you've ever played PC games, it looks like a Zergling from StarCraft.
Yep.
But after he kills that one, a whole bunch just start pouring in, start slaughtering the cows, and he's killing all of them. And then Beth tells Hank that there's another breach, like outside of the other, like on the other side of the perimeter.
Right. Yep.
So as he cleans up over there, he tells them that he's on the way, but he tells Beth he's finally moving the herd because there's only one cow left.
Right, and it seems like these things, as they came through the breach, are immediately attacking the cows. So it looks like they're feeding.
Yeah, so it kind of feels like, like when like farmers have a coyote problem. Or
Yeah,
something,
exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And so
Instead
seems
of going
like
out there with a shotgun, you go out with the
mech suit.
Yeah, and Hanks looks kind of like the mech suit from the end of Aliens.
Oh yeah.
Like, to me, it reminded me of that, but with more guns.
Yeah, it also or if you've ever played a BioShock, it looks like a Big Daddy.
Right. Okay.
Right?
So the other guy,
Mm-hmm.
I thought his looked more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're right, because Hank had more of like a squarish type of like cockpit.
Yeah.
Whereas Jake, the best hero, he did have a Big Daddy type of suit. And so yeah. So after they see this huge breach that looks like it's just pouring these bugs in. I think they call them Debs or DBs. Something like that.
Something
right?
like that.
They start to round up all the other farmers. So there's Mel, who's like this grizzled old lady, and like when you first see her, it looks like she's just parked, and then she kills one of the DBs that like try to eat her cow, but then the moment she rolls out, there's just like a mountain.
She got a pile of dead ones behind her.
And she kind of like, if I could ever picture anyone in that role, it probably would have been like Roseanne.
Yeah, like a gray-haired Roseanne.
Just the gray-haired Roseanne.
Just angry. And...
Well, I don't think she's angry. I think she's probably just like her husband had died a long
sarcastic.
time ago. Yeah. Like her husband probably had died a long time ago. Or, when she was younger, she shot her husband because her husband kept beating her. She felt like one of those like hard ass women. And then we see Jake. He's sleeping, I guess, on the job or while he was fixing his mech. His wife tells him, "Hey, Hank needs some help," and he's like, "Oh," he looks at his mech as like a work of art.
Oh yeah.
And she tells him like, "You're no Michelangelo." He's like, "I like Da Vinci more. I know way more than that guy." And so they get to the front lines. They're like, "Oh my God, there's way too many of them." There's like, I think that Beth had said there's like thousands.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, like her screen pops up with just a bunch of red dots.
Yeah. Yep. All little breaches. So.
Oh yeah. And so they start to get to work. They start like trying to clear out the field. Hank tells Beth to deploy more ammo because they're steadily running out.
Right, because it seems like they often get this problem, but it's more like the first little breach where it's a dozen or so come through. They get out there, they shoot them up, fix the breach, go back home.
Well, before you go further, I want to talk about the mechs because they each have like their own special little things. So like Hank's is sort of like the more all around type of basic one where it has a whole bunch of machine guns.
Right.
And it's to like spread them out. Mel, she's sort of like the tank because she has like all these ballistic missiles, which is super awesome because it doesn't blow up on impact. It blows up when she tells it to blow up.
Yeah. So
it's super cool. It's like one of those, it's like that scene from Iron Man, the first one where he's like, rain, hellfire.
Right.
Or whatever.
Exactly like that. Yep.
But Jake has like the coolest one. I felt like he wasn't using it as cool as he could have been.
Right. I guess it's got some limitations. It must. I don't know.
But then he has a laser.
Right.
Couldn't he have like done a sweep instead of pointing it one direction? Right. I don't know.
He's in a big bulky mech, so I don't know how easy it is to aim that. I'm not sure. Yes, I
just felt like it could have
plausibly that he should be able to,
like, just sweep it across the field, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the sort of I guess each of their mechs sort of have like their personality built into it.
Right.
Right? Because Hank is sort of like the all-American type of guy, you know. Probably like a Southern gentleman type of guy, but without like...
Yeah, like the kind lumberjack.
Yeah. He looks like the guy on the towel paper Braun.
Yes. Yep.
What's it called? Jake is sort of like this goofball, like
he's like
quirky
the
inventor,
country bumpkin.
Yeah, and then Mel, she's sort of like that hard ass, the one that you're like, don't you tell Mel what I did.
She's like the truck driver.
Oh.
That's a woman. Yeah,
Oh.
you're like oh.
But yeah, so as Mel or Beth, she sends the ammo. They send Jake to go get reloaded first.
Right.
His says it's. He says that his is built for precision, not speed. So he's taking forever. But as they're trying to hold them off, everyone got to the shelter, for just in case of invasion shelter.
Right. Yep.
Like all the surrounding families.
And even though it just looks like a farmhouse, as they start going into this shelter, like these like machine guns, like laser guided machine guns are popping up around, and like this always like defense grid. It is super cool.
But yeah, as they're getting swarmed, Hank tells Jake that him and Mel are gonna hang back and kill as many as they can, and that Jake should just leave and go back to the shelter because it just looks like they're gonna get overrun. As always, the adorable comedy relief guy.
Yep.
Defies all expectations, and he comes back for them with the ammo that they needed, and he's like, "I'll hold them off. Y'all just get reloaded up." And Mel's like, "They call me crazy," and so he jumps into the fray, just trying to do as much damage as he can. Hank tries to pull him back, tell him to come back now, but it's just too late.
Yep, and he just gets swarmed. And then once one gets on his back, it disables his laser,
really super cool laser,
and then it's kind of just over.
Yeah, see, like I don't know what it is about like these like comedy relief sacrifices that always gets me to tear up.
Right. Yep.
But so like as it looks pretty dire for Jake, Hank finally gets reloaded and he tries to jump into it. But before he can, Jake tells him like, "Hank, tell Helen that I died real good, okay?"
Right, and that's the part too. You're
that's
like,
the part that's
like, man, now it's coming.
I think it's like that, and it's just like that stupid country accent that like accentuates it. It's like you see it in every like war movie,
right?
I'm
totally picturing what Randy Quaid in Independence Day. And he's the one who flies the ship into the. He's like, "Hey boys, remember me?" He flies his airplane.
Yeah, but before that, he has this speech to his kids, and it's just like,
yep,
why? Like why? Like every dying man deserves to say goodbye to their family, but it's just so heartbreaking. And so as soon as like Hank tries to jump into it, Jake blows his reactor.
Yeah.
Which is like this huge explosion, which I feel like it's rightfully so, just because it's powering those really awesome mechs, right?
Right.
And he likes to tinker and all that stuff, so he probably had way more juice than everybody else.
He's got a laser, not just a machine gun.
Right. He had the legal amount of reactor juice.
Yeah.
But yeah, as they wake up, Beth is trying to contact them because Beth and Helen
see the explosion from across the field.
And then Beth, she's doing the microphone thing with the earpiece, and she's trying to see if Hank is still alive. And then Hank answers back, and in a very insensitive way in front of Helen goes, "Oh, thank God, I thought I lost you." I just feel I know she didn't know Jake was dead.
Right.
But it still sucks. Because Hank goes, "Oh, we lost Jake." And then you just see like this the soul crushing of Helen's heart. It's super bad, and and at that moment, Hank sees that this bigger version of these DBs,
much bigger version.
Yeah, it looks like it probably like what you can consider is probably like their queen.
Yeah,
right? Because it is just gigantic, and so she tells Helen, "Hey, go downstairs, go into the bunker," and it's like I gotta go help my husband, and I really wanted her to be like, because he's still alive. But it's just not that kind of movie. No, but Helen, it looks like she's trying to initiate one of the buildings because the silo blings up red.
Yep.
Hank is still trying to flamethrower this thing back.
Yeah, because he's got a flamethrower.
Right, it was also pretty cool. But
very cool.
Like I said, all around, he has a spread shot, and then he has flyer right there. But yeah, so what's it called? He's trying to hold this thing back. He ties his mech across a scarecrow that Jake had built him.
Right, which is like a big ugly metal statue.
Well, okay, so if you guys have ever played Magic the Gathering, it kind of looks like the card Mindless Automaton.
Yes. Yep.
Which it kind of looks like a half of a silo with twig arms, and it's and at the beginning of this short, Hank is just like, that thing is god awful ugly.
Right.
And then Beth's just like, oh, why don't you just remove it? I can't.
I've tried.
But at this point, it kind of serves as an anchor for him, and he's like, Jake, I hope this thing is as sturdy as you made it. And Jake, but while this is happening, Beth, she shoots the mother, the queen,
right,
with the silo cannon.
Yeah,
also awesome.
Very.
I don't know what they put in actual farm silos. I feel like it's grain.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather have a cannon.
Right. Yeah. It's.
But yeah, as she was getting that, she almost gets attacked by one of these insects. But then Helen comes back from the bunker to cover her.
Right.
While all this is happening. And so Hank tries to open the mouth, and he's like, you gotta shoot it in the mouth.
Because apparently they got pretty tough skin. Because
right?
This big one, he gets shot in the side, and it doesn't really... I mean, it kind of knocks it over, but it doesn't...
It's pretty thick skin.
But it doesn't, penetrate it.
It's like one of those cockroaches that, when you kill it, it makes the crunch sound.
Yep.
Oh, man. But yeah, so as he's holding it, Beth is trying to get a clear shot in the mouth. Finally he does. Shoots it in the mouth. It blows up. It doesn't blow up, but it sort of just dies internally from all the...
Yeah.
From the thing. And towards the end of it, you see that Beth and Mel, they're hanging out in the porch. They're having a beer. Hank comes out. You think Hank is dead, but he's not. Of course. Mr. Bronny can't die.
Right. Yeah. You weren't sure, though, but...
Oh, because, yeah, well, when she did shoot the silo cannon, his cup of tea spilled, or, poured out.
Yep. And there was enough smoke and stuff that she couldn't see really what exactly she hit. So
yeah, but as we're nearing to the end of this actual short, Beth asks Hank to go talk to Helen to sort of just what was it called? Comfort her.
Yeah.
On Jake dying, and then he makes the remark. He's like, it's starting to grow on me. About the scarecrow.
Yep.
And then we pull out and we find out that they're actually on another planet.
Right.
That has a whole bunch of housing silos or little domes.
Like domes.
Yeah.
And so these farms are under a dome, but then you can see the surface of the planet just crawling with
these insects.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, So yeah, Kobe, what were your thoughts after watching this one?
Oh, this was great. Like, because I had watched this like maybe 6 or 8 months ago when it first came out. Kind of binged through it, and then I hadn't really thought about it. And then we started talking about doing this, and there was 3 episodes that like of
the whole series.
So like 12 or
12.
But there's like 3 that really stuck out in my head. That like I really remembered. That kind of made an impression on me, and this was one of them. So yeah, this was.
Well, for me, this was actually it was a tie between this one and Secret War. It's gonna be the last one of the series. It's about like the Red Army fighting this secret, sort of like it's like tied to the occult.
Yeah.
So they're almost like the beings from Suits, but instead they're like sort of like mutated demons or something like that.
Right.
Which equally had a very like not as emotionally tying as Jake dying, to asking Hank to tell his wife that he died real good. But it was still pretty good. But I think it was because it was just so hyper realistic. It didn't get me as much as this cell shaded type of cartoonish one. I actually really like this one too, but I feel like to me it felt like an opening to a video game.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, especially
right?
The way that it's animated and everything. It's weird that you say that because with the first time I watched through this series, that was one of my least favorite. Today when when I just rewatched everything, I couldn't remember why I didn't like it very much.
Because I was Suits?
No,
Secret War.
Secret War. Because I was like, wow, this one was really good. It made a lot of sense. It was a good storyline and everything. Now that you say it looks like the opening to a video game, I totally could see that. Yeah. Now I want to play that video game. But yeah, I remember not liking that one.
Oh, Secret War, yeah. I think for me it was like a good way to just like to tie up the series. It was just like I think between this one and Beyond the Aquila Rift, I think Secret War had a much more hyper realistic, only because it's based in Earth and not in space.
Right.
But also Suits also did look like a video game opening as well, just like a different, like maybe the kids version.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can see more like an Earthworm Jim kind of style.
And I would say like this opening sequence would be way too heavy for a child, but then Disney also gave me the first 10 minutes of Up.
Right.
So I guess fuck your childhood.
Yep.
Death is real. Oh man. Oh, Kobe. So did you want to go into your favorite one?
Yeah, so my favorite one, like I came over and I was like, I bet you can guess what my favorite one is. And Barry's like, yeah, I know which one it is. It's called 3 Robots, and it is 3 robots that are basically they're taking just like a vacation on post-apocalyptic Earth.
Well, I think they're just like going out into like the more like apocalyptic style cities, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because
they kind of make jokes and stuff, so it seems like they visited a number of like planets and stuff that have been, decimated. And this is just kind of you've got like the little red one, and he seems like the seagull in Little Mermaid, where he thinks he knows everything, but most of the information is only like a quarter correct.
It's questionable. his basic knowledge is very questionable.
And then you've got the one that looks more like almost like a Terminator exoskeleton kind of.
It kind of looks like one of the robots from iRobot.
Or yeah,
right.
And then so he seems like the one that's knows the least, but not like that he's dumb, but he's just like experienced the least, and he's very intriguing of like what's going on Earth and this city.
He's totally Yeah, I'm not gonna say.
And then you got one that's just like a weird triangle, and that one's the logic bot.
It looks like one of the robots from Doctor Who.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of TARDIS-y.
Yeah. Is that
or Dalek-y.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Daleks, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of the three robots, they're going around and they're experiencing the city, and they go into like a stadium, and the little orange one's all like, "Look, this was like Earthlings, humans' greatest
invention
in entertainment." And it's just a basketball sitting there, and then he's like, "Well, what do you do?" The mech or the exoskeleton, iRobot one is like, "What do you do with it?" And he's like, "You bounce it." And he's like, "Is that it?" And he's like, "Yes." And the triangle's like, "Yeah, humans were very easily amused by bouncing things."
So like a lot of this series, like a lot of this short, the banter is just super funny.
Yeah, and even though they are very obviously robots, it's like you definitely, like almost like a Disney movie, like you definitely get a personality from them, even though they don't have any real facial expressions or anything. You can just
well the little red one does.
He does. He's kind of got the I guess
he's
got
TV screen.
Yeah.
Right? He looks like the mascot for a child's toy line, right?
Yes. Yeah. And they go into a restaurant, and so they're trying to explain to the iRobot, how humans didn't have batteries, that they actually had to chew their fuel, and then they excreted the fuel that they didn't use, so they make a lot of jokes about humanity and about how silly
the human body is.
Right. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, it's the fuel is turned into energy through acid. Why don't you just put the fuel into acid first and then just drink it, and then you could eliminate all that messy insides.
Well, I think that just like shows you how complicated, I guess, an organic being is, right?
Right.
Because to them it defies all logic. It's like, why would you have to have your body process it if you could pre-process it and then, right?
Yeah, just take the energy, not have to create it. They walk through a toy store, and they kind of make jokes about the iRobot. He's like an E-Box 2000.
Oh, he was like gaming console.
But there's like an E-Box 3 there, and they're like, haha, call it daddy.
Just very insensitive jokes. But he does rip the eye off of that one and install it into himself.
Yep. And then they go into an old house, and they're kind of sitting there, and a cat shows up, and it's the first living thing that they've seen on this planet.
Of course, the only living organism left is just the cat.
Yep. And so it comes over, and it starts rubbing against iRobot's leg and starts purring, and the little orange one's like, "Oh no, it's purring." And he's like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "Well, it doesn't mean anything if it's starting to purr, but when it stops purring, it explodes."
Which is a little true.
And then the triangle's like, "Yes, in my databanks there shows that there used to be a card game called Exploding Kittens. So apparently this is based on fact."
Which I remember the first time I watched this, I didn't know that was an actual card game.
Oh.
And then I saw it at a friend's house. I was like, "Oh my god."
Yep. And then they go to a nuclear missile silo, and the cat just follows them.
Yeah.
And they get there, and they talk about...
this is like the downfall. This was the downfall of man.
Right.
Right. These weapons of mass destruction.
And then they like, okay, well, kind of vacation's over, and they start to leave, and that's when the cat. Oh, they make a joke. They were like, yeah, actually, you think it's the bomb, but the actual downfall is when they genetically mutated the cat so it had opposable thumbs. And then you hear the cat, and the cat starts talking to them. And he's like, well, yes, and that's how we took over this planet. And they're like, oh, you could talk. So at least that means you're not going to explode. And the cat's like, nope, I didn't say that.
Well, the cat had like a British...
Right.
It had, for some reason, like every Bond villain, a British accent just sounds so menacing.
Right.
Because, as they're trying to leave, the cat does talk, tells them how they took over the planet. And then, but out of, I don't know what the phrase is, a whole bunch of cats start
like out of the woodwork.
Out of the woodworks, there you go. A whole gang of, what do you call a bunch of cats? I know it's not scat. Because... but yeah, and then, and that's where they make the joke that, oh, if at least you're not going to explode. And he's like, I didn't say that. And then it seems like forever they will have to... Yeah,
now you got to pet all of us and keep petting us so we don't stop purring. And the little triangle's like, oh, well, I guess we're, extending our vacation.
And then it just ends there.
Right.
Oh, okay. What did you think when you first saw this one?
I don't know. It is probably the most like comedic, like a Pixar-y kind of. Mm-hmm. I mean, it definitely is. It's that style of artwork and everything as well. But it was just, it was really clever. I just like you really got to know in a very short period of time these robots, and you got to appreciate them and get their personality. And then you had the twist with the cats actually just not being some creature that survived the apocalypse, but turned out they're the ones who caused it.
Yeah. Actually, this short was actually the commercial or the trailer I had seen for the series.
Okay.
Because I was holding off on watching this for the longest time. I think because the thumbnail art was the Asian girl from the looping one.
Right.
And so I kind of held off on it, but then I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be funny. Was not funny all the way through. This one was probably one of the only funny ones. But I really appreciate this one just because it had such good dialogue.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know if this could have been a whole movie. I think it works best in this very short style.
Yeah. This couldn't have been too much longer unless it was a snippet in a big movie that didn't necessarily revolve around these robots.
Yeah. Oh, like if there were sort of just like it would be like a Quentin Tarantino movie where they're the comedic relief that would pop in once in a while.
Yeah.
Like as the serious scene would be going on, they would walk by in the background
and then the camera would just kind of follow them for a minute and then come back.
Yeah. So this one is actually one of the more lighter toned ones in this entire series, just because, man, when I binge watched this, I was like, oh, it's that type of series.
And there's a couple light ones, and they're in the series overall, they're well placed. You don't get too many hard dark ones in a row. You get a couple, and then you get a funny one to kind of lighten the mood, and then they kind of start that cycle again. Yeah,
they have these comedic ones sort of as a palate cleanser.
Right. Yeah.
So if you say it's really easy to binge watch this because collectively it's maybe just an hour. But if you say if you're oh, you want to watch just a couple, you could end on a comedic one. Without feeling oh, that was so heavy.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the one I picked besides Suits was Beyond the Aquila Rift, which as I dove more into it, because I remember the first time I watched it, I wanted to know more. I didn't know that this was actually like a series of books from like the 90s.
Okay.
Same one with Zima Blue. That was a part of the same series. And so this one is the one we were talking about, was where it could have been like an entire movie by itself.
Yeah.
Because it's like I am like really into like horror films, but this is sort of like a space horror, which is just as good. Like Event Horizon is probably like one of my favorite horror films.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Right, and even though we didn't get to see like the director's like version, I rarely give Paul Wes Anderson any credit. But like when they gave him like sort of free reins to do what he wanted, like Event Horizon was one of them. And it just and so I like space horror, like Dead Space. I like that video game franchise.
Right.
And so this one starts off like they look like they're like cargo, they look like truckers, like space truckers.
Right.
It seems like, because they have a cargo like to transport. It's the main people is Tom, Susie, and I believe Brian.
Right.
And as they're trying to go into like this wormhole type of, like they call it the Archangel. I feel like it's sort of some sort of like hyperdrive entrance.
Yeah.
Or station, right?
Well, that the jump portal that shoots them into light speed.
Yeah. And so they're just trying to get back home. Susie had mentioned that, I found a shortcut. That way we can get back home faster. Tom says, we might get a bonus because of that. And so they go into hypersleep. But the moment Tom goes under hypersleep, it cuts to like the alarms blaring, statue of what's it called, Mary.
Yeah.
Like floating in the station. Tom wakes up. He sees that they're being hauled into a repair station. Yeah.
And then they don't know what's going on or he doesn't know because he was in
hypersleep
cryostasis
or whatever. Cryostasis, whatever these science people want to call that. And so he wakes up Susie because he needs to know what's going on. The space station doors open. These like really cool looking space troopers come in. Yep. You find out that one of them is this really hot blonde chick who Tom actually knows as Greta, because 4 years ago they had hooked up.
Yep.
And apparently broke a bed in 0G. So as Tom is trying to figure out how off course they are, they're like on some other space station, like a couple 100 light years away or something like that.
Yeah.
And Susie's freaking out because like her calculations couldn't have been wrong, and even if they were wrong, a routing error shouldn't have
got them
that far off of course.
Yeah.
But as Susie tries to get up, she's sort of dizzy. She's like tumbling over. So Greta says that she should go back into the tank because she has surge tank sickness.
Yeah.
And so at this point, Greta takes Tom away, says, "Hey, while they're fixing your ship, let's like enjoy the space station for a couple weeks." Tom's seen drinking, as I guess one would do, right?
Right. Yeah.
And Greta comes in this very, very tight one-piece dress.
Slinky gold dress, yeah.
Very, very low cut. And, the breast physics in this CG animated short is nothing short of amazing. But yeah, Tom is looking out into space, which is like, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Also very terrifying. But Greta mentions that this little circle of little collection of stars is the Aquila Rift. And she's like, we're just like beyond that is the Aquila Rift, which I feel like is probably maybe the edge before you get into deep space.
Yeah.
Like deep space. I don't know how deep it gets. It's like as deep as the second page of Google. but knowing that, Tom is like, fuck, I'm far.
Right.
From Earth. I guess that's where they're still based out of, right?
Yep.
And so they're making like they're going through memory lane. Like Tom's like, oh, I haven't seen you in 3 years. Greta says 4. And then Greta's like, I never knew someone could fuck that hard in 0G enough to break a bed. And then we get, which surprised me the most, because as I was watching this the first time, I was cooking something downstairs, and then my mom happened to come downstairs as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we get CG sex, which is pretty awesome.
And yeah, this is pretty realistic. This is like...
Oh, it is, because she pours champagne on them boobies.
But it's like Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy movie, like that kind of...
Oh, yeah, but it's like years ahead of that now when this came out. Because the way the champagne poured on those... I mean, it is a pretty graphic sex scene, though, because, like, he's, like, sucking on her breasts. She's going down on him. Her boobs keep jiggling as he's thrusting into her. Yeah, really great sex.
Somebody put some time and effort into
that sex scene. But even like after they have sex, like he's on the couch in his boxers. He's like watching space again. I guess that's what you do at a space station. You just watch more space.
Right. I guess, and you especially like you're lost. So
I feel like that would scare me. I don't know. I feel like if I was like in space, I wouldn't want to stare too much into space, because then like, what if like 2 red eyes come out? Like, oh fuck. It's like, like that's why like there's no windows really on a submarine. Well, I'm pretty sure it has to do something with pressure, but still, I wouldn't want to like. The fear.
There's a bunch of windows on the little submarine that used to be at Disneyland, but that only went like 10 feet underwater.
Yeah. But yeah, like even Greta lying down topless, again, the breast physics, because the way her breast slanted as she was lying to the side. Okay, this isn't all about the breast physics. I'm sorry. But yeah, so she tells him. Like they're sort of like opening. He's sort of opening up to her, and so she tells him, "Tom, I lied to you. You're a lot farther. This is not the blah 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 Spectre.
Right.
We're actually like she brings up this, which is always really cool. Like this holographic, like map thing that space always has.
Yeah. And
it turns out
holographic Star Wars.
Yeah, but it turns out he is 150 light years away from space.
Right, and so it appears that if the Ocular Rift is the edge of the universe, they're on it, galaxy. But they're on it on the opposite side,
which is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so he totally flips out.
Right.
Like, because she tells him, like, relative to you, you've only been asleep for a couple months, but on Earth, it is hundreds of years past.
Right. So even if you take the 30 or 40 year travel back, you're going to get to an Earth that is completely different than you left.
Well, yeah, because in that travel time also, it's just like it's going to go by 100 more years or something, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like there's probably not a jump port close enough. And even if he gets into the jump port, it'll maybe take him half, or I don't know how long space travel is.
Right. Yeah.
But she tells him, like, because he's like, oh, I might as well be dead. She's like, you're not dead, Tom. You're here with me.
Yep.
And I guess maybe he didn't have family back home, so he sort of had comfort in that. And so he goes to wake Susie back up.
I mean, like, technically, you're on a little space somewhere, so at least, and there's booze, and there's
boobs.
And boobs. So, I mean, it's better than, like, being stuck on your little ship, stranded in the middle of...
Nowhere,
yeah.
So, he goes to wake up Susie, just to explain what the situation is. He's like, what do you remember? He's like, I remember the pricks on the Archangel, and then I remember my dreams. But then she looks at Greta, and she's like, who the fuck is that? Tom's like, it's Greta. You met her on Talleyrand or whatever.
Right.
And she's like, that's not Greta. And she freaks out. She attacks her, grabs the statue out of her hand, cuts her on the neck, but then Greta sedates her.
Yeah.
But Tom notices that Greta wipes away the blood from the cut, and there's no cut.
Yeah.
And then so we go into another scene after he puts Susie back into the surge tank. We go back to another scene. I guess they had sex again because she is half naked.
Yeah.
And again, great physics because through the white shirt you see her nipples. But he's like, "What are you? You're not Greta." Because he looks at her neck and there's no cut anymore.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Susie's right. You're not Greta. Who are you? What is this place?" She finally explains, like, this is all a simulation for you. You know, everything I told you, like, I told you some truths. Like your shit did get lost via routing error. But
we are where we said we were.
Yeah, but I guess at this point he finally finds out that he's on the other side of the ocular rift.
Right.
And he's like, "I want to see you for what you really are." And so she says, "No, you can't handle it. It's just not gonna be good for you. You know, I care about you. Like, I don't want you to know," or I guess.
Right. She's like, "I care about everybody who's
lost
been lost." Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's like, "I don't care. I want to see it." And then he wakes up looking like a homeless Jesus.
It is definitely like Neo waking up in the Matrix. Or out of the Matrix.
Yeah, but the Neo came like fully. He was like still healthy looking.
Right.
Tom is like malnourished at this point.
Yeah.
His beard is out of control. Like I said, he looks like homeless Jesus. But he looks out into the world that he wakes up from, and it sort of looks like a space web. I don't know how to.
Yes.
Like a space cocoon.
Yep.
And he sees that like his Susie's tank. She looks like she might still be alive. But Brian is definitely dead because his body started rotting away.
And they have never tried to pull him out of stasis.
Yeah. Because Greta had said it's better for him to just be asleep.
Right.
And so and then he looks out into the I guess I don't know the rest of the station, and it just looks like a whole bunch of other space stations just tangled up in this space cocoon.
Yeah.
And then you hear "Hello, Tom" coming out of the shadows, and it echoes actually, which is pretty creepy. I guess maybe he was saying it in his mind. I feel like because like you see this thing come out of the darkness, and it looks like a woman walking towards you.
It starts looking like a woman, yeah.
Yeah, but then when it gets into the light, it looks like the stock from Saga. it just looks like this gigantic space spider.
Yeah.
And Tom just loses it. I don't think he can handle.
Right. I think I would too.
I would rather, put me back to sleep. Bring me back to the station with booze and boobs.
Yep.
But then he ends up waking up back into his little simulation. His memory, I'm thinking it's wiped or something. Like maybe the shock from it all just sent him back.
Right. Kind of like almost like it was too much. So when he re-wakes up, he's like, "Oh, that was a dream."
Yeah. And then, but before he can open Susie's chamber, Greta comes in and she's like, "Hello, Tom." And then they have the same conversation that they had in the beginning, except this time, Greta says, "I know you're lost, like a couple light years away from Chorus, but at least you have a friendly face here," which in the beginning Tom has said to Greta,
right,
that it's easier to deal with this because there's a friendly face here. So, I forgot to mention this little tidbit earlier. When Susie attacks Greta, or the space spider, she says, "It's okay, we'll try as many times as it takes." And so, after that, when this whole thing ends, it starts to flicker from like the simulated space station to the real space station.
Yeah. Which
just looks like a space cocoon.
Right.
And the hues after you find is like it goes from blue to like a warm color. So it goes from like a cold of space to like this warm type of version of space. I don't know. Maybe there's a sun nearby or something.
Right.
But yeah, and it ends right there. It really, yeah, it's just like when you find out that he's actually under this simulation. For me, was like, oh, it's like a space horror. But then it's just I kept thinking, I was like, what is it like? And, she said that they got there via routing error.
Yeah.
And because I'm thinking like, oh, they're beyond this ocular rift, that it really was just an error, but there's no way for them to get back, maybe.
Right.
Because they're just too far from anything that's gonna get them back to where they need to be. And I just felt like that, like, so some people were saying that this space alien was feeding on these lost ships, but I was thinking that maybe this space spider was just like easing their death.
Right. Kind of like a weird
it's
spider angel.
Oh no, the way I thought about it was like a space spider hospice.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, Kobe. What did you think when you first saw this one?
Oh yeah, no, again, like this is one of those ones where like it almost it was so well done, but it felt too short. Like I totally was like, you don't have to add much to this to like stretch it into a movie, or at least into like an hour long episode instead of
15 minutes,
15 minutes, or yeah. Yeah, because like there's a lot of them where like this, they were like, because I was like, there's a lot of them that it looks like it got like, there's a movie and we cut out this cool action scene and we're gonna show it to you, but this felt like this was a whole movie and somebody just kind of chopped it up and like shortened it so that they could make it into a short story.
Yeah, like every 4 minutes was like a part of like the storytelling process, like the rising action, the climax, the declining action, and then the resolution. Yeah, I definitely, like, if there was ever a chance to watch this, if it ever was developed into sort of like a full CG movie, it was like, it's good enough to watch. Or if they made this into like a live action one, it would be even cooler to watch.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that.
Especially if they did, I want practical effects for the space spider hospice lady.
Yes.
But like it would see, like, the best thing about it is if they made this into a film, 80% of that movie would be a thriller, and then the last 20% would be like a horror,
right,
or like a space horror film, just because it would be him sort of like trying to figure out what's really going on, who he can trust, and then the last 30 to 40 minutes of it, you find out that he's like in this space horror. But if they can make it sort of make you feel like this being, this like ocular rift being, was actually just easing him into his death, into passing, rather than, I think it would be like a really good movie, and like it would be a really good way to end it, instead of it being just straight up horror, like she's gonna eat him.
Right.
But I feel like it would be too melancholic for American audiences. Like they would want him.
Oh, right. Yes, I could see this being like an Asian movie.
Right. But it'd have to be done by Korea or something, because Korea is really good at making you feel like shit at the end of the film. Well, I'm not happy at all. But sometimes it's I love storytelling like that, just because it feels more it feels like it gets at you at different parts of your brain. Right. I don't know. Oh, okay, cool. So what do you want to tell people about this series? How would you want to explain this series to them?
It's a fantastic collection of short tech, kind of sci-fi tech stories. It's kind of almost like a shortened version of an animated Black Mirror. If people are familiar with that, all of the stories are very different, but they're all that love, death, and robot kind of theme that connects them all, even though they're all separate stories.
Yeah.
Super good. I would say 12 episodes, 10 of them I loved, and then 2 of them were like, none of them I hated, but there was 2 of them.
Is it the yogurt one?
You know what? I thought the yogurt one was a little silly, but it was clever. I
think the yogurt one is more metaphorical.
Right.
Oh wait, which ones are the ones you didn't enjoy?
Both the first time and this time, I not huge on the illusion fish or whatever that.
Oh, the desert one.
Yeah.
I feel like that one sort of felt like. I think it might have been like maybe a Native American like folktale.
Okay, maybe, and maybe if I had some more background on it, I wouldn't have. It just didn't make a lot of sense. And
I totally think it's like a folktale, like a Native American folktale, just like how the Asian one felt like, the one with the fox, or like where like she was
right.
Yeah, that one. It felt like. It was like a story that we just didn't know about, and they're just like telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other one?
Actually, that one.
Oh, what? That one was so good.
It was good, but it was like the least favorite.
It was super depressing. That's why.
Maybe
because like wait, I didn't rewatch it today. But I know towards the end she had became sort of like a prostitute, like a geisha type of deal.
Right.
And then towards the end her body was mostly mechanical.
Yes.
Because the guy who had bought her kept replacing her parts. But then the boy that she grew up with was a steampunk mechanic and redid her body so she could transform from like beautiful, sexy Asian robot to
right.
deadly fox.
Right.
Oh, so you didn't like that one?
It was, like I said, none of them I hated.
Yeah.
That one just, it was felt like a different level than.
Yeah. I definitely think they tried to do some like cultural ones. That's where I felt like those two are at.
Right.
If I had to pick ones I didn't like, it's probably going to be the desert fish and the junkyard one.
Oh, you're right. The junkyard. Another one of those ones where it was cute, but there was like no real substance to it.
Yeah, it was sort of like. Okay, so like the junkyard one was good as far as like the middle portion where he was going through the story, but the payoff wasn't as good as the build-up was.
Right.
That's how I felt about the junkyard one. So if I had to rate the 2 lowest ones, because I did like all of them, but yeah, it would be probably junkyard one last, desert fish one like second to last.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kobe, what would you rate this entire series? Our rating system is use DVD, new DVD, use Blu-ray, new Blu-ray, Ultimate Box Collection.
I'm not sure what you would get for an Ultimate Box Collection. That would warrant. Definitely, I would go Blu-ray with this. This was super cool. I definitely
new Blu-ray.
I'd go new Blu-ray. It definitely has rewatchable value. I'd love to see a little bit of more kind of behind the scenes, a little bit of explanation to some of the stories, a little bit more on who did them and what
the thought process.
Like one of the animators for the loop.
Mm-hmm.
The loop with the girl and the murder was part of the Spider-Man animated.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. That one is probably one of the more colorful ones. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
But yeah, I would certainly be very interested to kind of get more background on who did these and who wrote the stories and stuff like that. So yeah, I would love to see some behind the scenes.
Yeah. For me, if they ever came out with like Love and Death Robots 2 and 3, it would definitely be a ultimate collectors like buy.
You get like a box set and get them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if the box set came in the red robot's like head, or even like the tower body one, would be super awesome. But as it stands right now, I probably would just buy it like new Blu-ray, because I feel like this one would probably be teaming with just like behind the scenes stuff for each short, like maybe like a director's commentary as you're watching it.
Right, because you could have one for each one, yeah.
And it just, it would be nice to see the thought process of all of it, and just like how it came to be. I also think like it's this whole series would be good as far as like pitching a movie to studios.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like, then it could be like, this is the idea for this movie that we're gonna do. Here's this one. Here's like a little demo,
right,
of how this movie could be. I just feel like maybe like animating an entire film is probably one of the more expensive like endeavors that Hollywood does.
Yeah.
And but I mean, if like a team could do it,
and time consuming, it's got to be way more time consuming than
just like acting like real life actors, right? But
yeah,
it'd be really cool to see like a full version of Beyond the Aquila Rift. Even the first one was like really good. What's it called? The fighting.
That one was a great first, like, it was a very well thought out first episode, because it definitely, even though overall story and everything, once you watch them all, it's
like the weakest one.
Wasn't the best.
But it would just be a biological real steel.
Right. But it was definitely like, it captured my interest to be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm definitely going to keep watching. Yeah. See what happens next.
Well, I feel like the first one could be a series instead of like a movie.
Yeah, I could see it. I was like almost like an anime series. Like, kind of a...
Beyond the Aquila Rift, the actor kind of just looked like Hugh Jackman.
Right.
So, if you guys ever make that movie, I mean, Hugh Jackman still looks pretty good for his age, right? I mean, Tom in that one, he was pretty old anyway.
Right.
Right. But yeah, hope you guys come to... We don't know what we're going to do for next month's. We're just going to surprise you with that one, I think.
Right.
So I hope you guys...
It's more fun that way.
So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. This is us talking about our favorite shorts from the Netflix series, Love, Death, and Robots. Hope you guys stay tuned for next week's episode.
Yeah.
I know, I said that like a question. Maybe you'll watch next week's episode. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Theme music is by Lee Rosevere, Arcade Montage. You can find it on FMA.com under the music album, Music for Podcast 3.
Thank you.